Shabbat Shalom. Hope you all grabbed a prayer book while you came in. Y'all, I guess I've been here in the South for a little while. My New York mother would be ashamed. It's their anniversary today. 67 years. Pretty crazy. We will start with a nigun, a wordless song, to get us breathing together, to help us wash out what was going on in your mind, occupying you before you walked in these doors, and get you focusing on Shabbat. Lai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Would you like to try singing that with me? Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. And like every nigun, there's another part. Ya, da, da, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, da, dai, ya, da, dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, da, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, da, dai, 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 dai. From the top. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, da, dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, da, dai, 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 da, dai. Ya, dai, da, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, dai. Ya, da, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, 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 dai. Ya, dai, dai. Ya, da, dai, 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 dai. This opening nigun was created as a setting to Psalm 51, verse 12. Lev tahor bra li Elohim. Create a pure heart for me, O God, a steadfast spirit. As we are just a couple of weeks away from the festival of Pesach, I'm busying myself with spring cleaning and beautifying and preparing a Beit Tahor, a pure home, free of chametz and crumbs of neglect that inevitably collect in the corners of our busy lives. Plenty of Virginia clay as well. In this act, I hope to create a lev tahor, a pure heart, going into Chag Pesach. As we kindle the lights of Shabbat, I wish that you connect the pivotal, the story of our ancestors to the miracle that is your life and the holiness that is Shabbat. And the words are, create a pure heart in me, great spirit, and renew a true soul within me, the same melody. Create a pure heart in me, great spirit. Create a pure Spirit, create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Another Shabbat psalm says, Zamru ladonai bechinor v'kol zimra. Sing praises to God with the lyre or guitar, with a lyre and melodious song. We will sing it with this closest instrument that I have, my guitar. So let us sing Zamru Ladonai, which can be found on page 134. Zamru Ladonai Bechinor V'kol Zimra. 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 Even though the lights, the sun is still out and shining, we're hurrying Shabbat along. So I will light the candles, and you can find the blessing on page 120 in your prayer book. Page 128. Ma yafeh hayom. How lovely today is. Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat shalom. It is customary to welcome Shabbat with Lachadodi Likrat Kala, beloved, come to meet the bride. The verses of Lachadodi, written by the 16th century mystic Shlomo Halevi Alkabetz, describe the union between God and human. The beloved in this case is Shekhinah, God's dwelling presence. And our joy increases on Shabbat as we embrace Shekhinah as we would a bride. It is a love song to the divine. Please join me as we sing verses 1, 2, 8, and 9. And please rise as we sing verse 9, Boi Kala, and greet the Sabbath bride as she enters from the doorway. Pardon me, 138, 139. Lecha dodi likrat kala bnei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad yishmianu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litehila lecha dodi likrat kala bnei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat nechu v'necha ki mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh v'machashava techila lecha dodi likrat kala bnei Shabbat nekabela yamin u'smol rise, face the door. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha uv'toch olah, toch emuneh am segulah, boi chalav, lecha dodi. Likrat kala, bnei Shabbat nekabela. We turn to page 144 for Chatzi Kaddish. Some people choose to rise as this prayer leads. It's a prayer of it's not in Hebrew, it's in Aramaic. It's a transitionary prayer of praise that we do just before Baruch Hu, for which we definitely rise. So 144. Yitkada Shemei Rabbah V'yalmad Yivrach Yirutei V'yamlich Malchutei B'chayechon U'v'yomechon U'chayedecho Beit Yisrael B'gala U'vizman Kari V'yimeru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Le'olmei Olmaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitba'ar V'yitromam V'yitnasei V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudisha Berichu Le'ela Min Kol Berchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damiram b'yalma v'yimeru amen. We rise, we face east toward Jerusalem, toward the spiritual center of the universe, which is in that direction. I will do the call if you will please do the answer. Baruch hu et Adonai. Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated. One of the things I love about doing Friday night services is, with some exceptions, there's always new people in the room. And I'm assuming there's new people on our YouTube as well. So I don't mind explaining the next few prayers in our Siddur that are part of the Shema U'V'Yirochtecha, the various blessings and prayers. Each one has a different focus. So the next prayer we will recite is 148, Ma'ariv Aravim. In this blessing, we are praising God as a creator of day and night, and separating day from night. And it also mentions in this prayer that God creates in speech using words, which is an interesting way to create. We think of building with our hands or with our bodies, but poof, God said, let there be light or darkness, and there is. And so this is a nod to that. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechokma ברצונו בורא יום ולילה כולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור וחושך מפני אור ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבים. Turning the page, we begin our love sandwich with Ahavat Olam. God's love for us is unending, unconditional, and always there for us. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Amcha Avta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, ki chem chayenu, v'yorech yameinu, u'vahem negeh yomam v'layla, negeh yomam v'layla. V'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. And our proclamation in return, the meat of that, or the tofu of that sandwich, love sandwich, is the Shema, the declaration. Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. And the top slice of spiritual bread on our love sandwich is V'ahavta, our pledge of allegiance, as quoted in Deuteronomy. We will love God with all our heart, all our soul, and all of our strength. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ושוכבך וקומך, וקשרתם להוד על ידיך, והיו לתוצפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, הייתם קדושים ללכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohechem. Together in English, you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all of my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. We are in, as I said earlier, that transitionary time in the Hebrew calendar between Purim, when we celebrate with unbridled joy at our power to save our circumstances through bravery of our heroes, Esther and Mordechai. And we move ahead to the season of freedom. Passover is just 3 weeks away. I can't believe it. Our hearts are heavy as we hear the daily reports of the breaking down of democratic institutions in our country, the renewed fighting in the Holy Land and surrounding countries, Ukraine and around the world. Let us hold in our hearts the struggles of all who struggle for the freedoms we still enjoy as we sing our anthem of freedom, Mi Chamocha. Page 158. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar v'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele, malachutzecha ra'u v'anecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, ובעלום יד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גיא ישראל. Turning the page, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us to a life renewed. This is an evening, a nighttime prayer as we almost approach the darkness, that we trust that God will watch over us, guard us, so we can wake up tomorrow morning refreshed and ready to run. When I lay me down to go to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul will keep, and as my soul wanders into the deep, shelter me please neath your wings. Let me walk around the block with you, lie under the night sky and howl at the moon. Let me have another chance to make a difference to someone next day when I wake. These are the words in the prayer book. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom V'ha'amidenu Shomreinu L'chaim Ufaros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha V'takanenu Be'etza Tova Milfanecha. When I lay me down to go to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul will keep, and as my soul wanders into the deep, shelter me please neath your wings. Shelter me please neath your wings. Turning to page 162, Vishamru, our Friday night melody. This is one of the 613 commandments that Moses handed to us as we stood at the foot of Mount Sinai. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael, the people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing it as a covenant through all time. V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, ki sheshet yamim turn the page, and as we turn the page, we see it is time for Amidah. We rise before Hamelech, God, our King. We take 3 steps back so that we may take 3 steps forward as we address Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in these words of tefillah, which we do customarily silently on Kabbalat Shabbat. So please turn to page 164 for the invocation, and we will then have some silent time, about 5 minutes, to pray either the words in the prayer book from 166 to 181, or you may feel free to close the book and improvise. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. We seal our prayers, both spoken aloud and in private, with a prayer for healing. Mishaberach. The prayer can be found on page 109 in your prayer book. In our congregation this week, we are saying prayers for Charles Ronkin, Zahavat Batdan, Stephen Wilner, Razbolski, Graham Ross, Kathy Jarrett Tremper, Ariel Roberts, Shifra Basha, Esther Rachel Bat Daniel Abigail, Ruchel Mira Bat Carmen, David Ephraim Cantor, Kathy Weiner, Yael White, Owen Sider, Sarah Silverman, Rebecca Factor, Anna Borovskaya Ellis, Barbara Feiner, Bob Dwoskin, and any additional names you'd like to add at this time for a healing prayer. Mi shebeirach avotenu bekor abracha limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor abracha avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. So I invite you to close your prayer books for a few moments as I share some words of Torah. Today in Parsha Vayachel, we explore many things, but One of the most mysterious commandments in the Torah is that of the ritual of the red heifer, and that's about which I will speak this evening. This strange ritual has fascinated Jewish scholars, rabbis, and lay people alike for thousands of years. It is a commandment that both offers us spiritual lessons and challenges us to confront our understanding of purity, sin, and holiness. While we may never fully grasp the reasons behind every mitzvah, we trust that there is not a wasted word in our holy scrolls, and that the work before us is to return to them year over year to wrestle with the mysteries presented to us. So that is why I'm choosing the red heifer this year. The ritual of the red heifer is one of those perplexing commandments. It teaches us about the importance of purity, the role of sacrifice in its time as the primary connection to holiness for the Israelites, and most importantly, how we can approach holiness today, even in the midst of a world filled with impurity and with death. The ritual of red heifer is revealed to us in Numbers chapter 19 like this. This is the statute, and I won't do it in Hebrew, I'll do it in English. This is the statute of the law that the Lord has commanded us. Tell the Israelites to bring you a red heifer without defect or blemish, and that has never been under a yoke. You are to give her to Eleazar the priest, and he shall take her outside the camp and slaughter her in his presence. Eleazar the priest shall take some of her blood on her fingers and sprinkle it toward the front of the tent of meeting 7 times. Then the heifer shall be burned, its hide, flesh, blood, and offal, which I assume means its intestines and things like that. The priest shall take cedar wood, hyssop, and scarlet wool and throw them into the fire where the heifer is burning. Afterward, the priest shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water. Then he may come into the camp, but he shall not be clean until the evening. The man who burns it must wash his clothes in water and bathe his body in water, and he shall be unclean until evening. Okay. The ashes of the red heifer were then collected and kept in a clean place outside the camp, and maybe in a bowl jar, I don't know, to be used in purification rituals for those who had come into contact with death. From this description, we see that the red heifer was a special sacrifice used to purify people who were impure, specifically those who had come in contact with death. But why a red heifer? Why a heifer at all? And why this specific procedure? What deeper meaning can we glean from this seemingly strange and difficult ritual? The first and perhaps most obvious lesson the red heifer teaches us is the importance of purity in Jewish life. I'm just going to lay that weird strangeness aside. In the Torah, we are often told that holiness is not just a state of being, it is something that we must always strive for. We must be mindful of the ways in which our actions, thoughts, and encounters in the world can lead us astray. Death is the greatest symbol of impurity. It is something that touches every one of us, and we cannot escape it. Whether through the death of a loved one, the end of a chapter in life, or the physical reality of our own mortality, death comes to us all. In Jewish thought, death is not only a natural part of life, but it is also a spiritual impurity that needs to be addressed in order to maintain the purity required to approach God. I did not find this particularly connected to the ritual of tahara that we do when a dear one of ours leaves, and we send them to the Chevra Kadisha for for washing, but I'm assuming that this has its origins in this pasuk. In ancient Israel, anyone who came into contact with death, whether by touching a corpse or being in a place where a dead body had been, was considered ritually impure. This ritual of the red heifer in those days was a physical process to return to a place of tahara, the state of holiness and purity. The ashes of the red heifer mixed with water were used in this ritual, and it was essential for those who needed to re-enter the sacred space of the tabernacle, or later the temple. This sacrifice of the red heifer allowed the community to maintain the purity required to dwell in the presence of God and to feel that sense of spiritual enlightenment. For us today, the lesson is clear. Even though we no longer have the temple or the red heifer's ashes to purify us, we still must be aware of the spiritual impurities we accumulate as we navigate our lives. We are reminded that death, both physical and spiritual, is a powerful distraction. Our grief is palpable and can turn us away from spiritual enlightenment. Yet even in the face of death, God provides us this path back to purity and closeness with him. In Jewish tradition, the commandment regarding the red heifer is classified as a chok, a decree whose reasons are not revealed to us, a mystery. The very nature of this mitzvah, with its mysteries and often incomprehensible aspects, teaches us humility before God. As much as we might try to understand every aspect of the Torah, there are some things that remain beyond our grasp. This does not mean that the mitzvah is meaningless or arbitrary. Quite the opposite, really. The very fact that we perform a mitzvah despite not understanding its full meaning reflects our faith in God's wisdom and our trust that the holiness of such rituals will wash over us when we are ready. While we do not sacrifice today, can you think of things that we do that are aspirational toward a higher state of connection with God? Lighting Shabbat candles, saying the Be'ahavta, sitting in these pews, donning talisim or tefillin. Can you think of other things that you might do that don't necessarily make sense, but they just make you feel a little closer to God? Being in nature, listening to certain music. Exactly. The chok nature of the red heifer ritual challenges us to embrace this mystery of God's commandments and to trust that God has a greater plan for us. Not everything can be understood by human reasoning. There's a deep lesson in accepting that some things are beyond our understanding and comprehension, and our role is not necessarily to try and analyze everything, but to fulfill a mitzvah with faith. So as we reflect on this mitzvah, we are reminded of our own spiritual purification and the importance of living a life of holiness. Even if we do not have the ashes of the red heifer today, we must still strive to live our best lives, to do teshuvah. We avoid selfishness and pride. We are called to trust in the wisdom of God's commandments, even when we do not understand all of them. Know that through our wrestling with Torah in time, we can reach a greater understanding of the mysteries that present themselves. May we live our lives with the awareness that even in a world filled with impurity, God has provided us a path back to holiness through Torah avodah, and gimilut chasadim, study, prayer, and acts of loving kindness, our modern version of the red heifer. May the lessons that we learn in this portion inspire us to live lives of greater purity, faith, and commitment. We turn back to our prayer books for the conclusion of our service. Aleno, page 586, please rise. We begin in the bottom paragraph. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים. אלוהינו אין עוד, הם את מלכנו אפסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד, page 591. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. Page 598, Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish. In our community this week, we are remembering the yahrzeits of Elizabeth Bleiberg, Ed Davis, Leonard Dopkins, Seymour Gelber, Jonas Goldstein, Werner Halpern, Joya Heine, John Herman, Diana Horowitz, Roxbury Clyde Crystal, David Kaufman, Baron Kesser, Morton Koch, Chaim Majersik, Max Morton, Marion Pickering, Nancy Lee Pearson, Diane Schmidley, Leonard Scott, Beatrice Shapenka, Irvin Shapiro, Retta Stark, Helen Murphy Valentine, Carol Williamson, Maxwell Klugerman, Isidore Whitkin, and we are in Shloshim for Clarice Morris. Is there anyone else who is in mourning in this room, has a name that they would like to mention? Those who are in mourning, those who wish to join them, please rise for Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadesh shmei Rabbah, v'yalmat divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye de kol beit Yisrael,
Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru, amen. Yehe shmei rabba mavarach le'olam omei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brechu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Ta'amiram v'yalma v'imru, amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. Zichronom livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. You may be seated. Some announcements before we do our closing hymn. Tomorrow morning is the traditional egalitarian minyan for our Shabbat morning service, which will also be available on YouTube. If you plan on joining, just be aware that the 10-miler is going to get in the way of traffic on your way here, so plan ahead. And then Thursday, March 27th at 7 p.m., there will be a pop-up screening at the Alamo of the film No Other Land. Rabbi Tom will be there and this is a screening of the Academy Award-winning documentary. The film is a joint collaboration between an Israeli and a Palestinian director, documenting the struggles of the villagers of Masafer Yatta on the West Bank to remain on their land in the face of settler violence and police indifference, and the friendship that developed between them. And it comes with a warning. This film is not easy to watch. You will definitely experience discomfort, perhaps disbelief. You will be exposed to the reality of life for some Palestinians in the West Bank that we are not used to seeing. But perhaps through the lens of these filmmakers, we can gain an understanding of the backstory of this larger conflict between two peoples over the land that each call their own, and also about the courage of those who are willing to work together to try to advance or advocate for justice and peaceful coexistence instead of displacement and eternal war. Rabbi Tom will be there to hold a discussion, so please consult the weekly emails to get details on how to buy tickets in this week's newsletter. Are there any other announcements anyone would like to make? Okay. We will close then. Before we close, there is wine, juice, some hamantash, and of course challah. We need to get rid of that hamantash before Pesach. So please indulge. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they're filled with preservatives, right? I've already had one today, so. Oh, but they're yummy preservatives. I'm sure there's a blessing specifically for hamantashen. All right, so 625 is the page that we will find Adon Olam, and I'd like to do this to the melody of The Water is Wide as we approach the crossing of the sea and the story of our escape, our Pesach story. And feel free to harmonize or echo or however you want to do it. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'et Nasa V'chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kiflot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh
ותפארה, והוא אחד ואין שני, לכאן שידלו להכבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמזרח, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, בידו הפקירוכי, בעת אישן והעירה, והמרוחי והריתתי, אדוני לי ולא אירא. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Please join us. Put your prayer books away on the shelves back there, and then come into Omansky Hall for challah and wine and grape juice and Haman's ears.